Hi guys, and welcome to today's Alakazam Live. Thank you so much for joining us. If it's your first time, welcome. So the Alakazam Live, we're here, we're going to talk to you about things that are happening in the magic world and Alakazam, and also answer your questions. So if you've got any questions, just drop them into the chat, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Drop it in the chat there and it will come straight through to me. So get that done. And I am joined by a special guest today who I'm going to be introducing in a moment. Just get my camera sorted out like that. So anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome to Adrian, Lee, Paul, Lawrence, Joseph, another Paul, Scott, Bob. Welcome everyone. Welcome along. So let me introduce you to our special guest today, the one and only Mr. Daniel Chard. Hello, Daniel. How are you?
I'm very good, Pete. How are you?
I'm great, mate.
Good
always,
man.
Always good. Also, guys, before we speak to Daniel, let me know what you think of the audio. I've got a new mic. We're going to be replacing the mics in the studio. So let me know what you think of the audio. Is it coming across okay? Is it clear? And everything else. So let's see, Daniel, a lot of people saying good afternoon. So, Dan,
yes,
you're here.
I am.
2 reasons, well, 3 reasons. One of the reasons is we just love you being on Sam.
Stop it.
But away from that, tonight you have got your academy.
Yes.
So I'm going to put my phone on silent. I don't know why that's beeping. I've got a trailer to play, but seeing as you're here, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, of course. So I've always been obsessed with the multiple selection routine. It's one of the tricks that I've used both in my show, Walk Around Magic, and to close my bar sets for roughly about 12 to 15 years. And I've just collected along the way. It's kind of like my love letter to the trick, if anything. So it's keeping very close to the classics. A lot of the stuff you'd see from like Doc Issa and Aldo Colombini, but it's sharing all of this stuff that I've learned along the way, both things that can go wrong, things that can go right, different strategies with the multiple selection, different moves that I've not seen used as much. Also some hidden gems that you don't typically see. But one of the most exciting things for me is like a couple of weird controls as well that I've used with the trick just, for quite a long time at this point, and it seems to be, I've not seen anyone else use them, so it could be a thing just for that. But it's one of those things that you can just keep coming back to. So, you'll pick up something new every time you watch it in terms of things that you can add to your multiple selection. I truly think is probably the strongest card trick you can do outside, for multiple people, because it gets everyone involved. It's almost like a mini act in and of itself. And so I'm going to break down my whole routine, the psychology behind it, different stuff you can use, and then plenty of applications. But I've got to try and keep it to 2.5 hours. But for anyone that knows me, that is a tall order because I like to talk.
Well, the great thing about the multiple selection, is it's so interchangeable and adaptable depending how many people you got there. I worked on a multiple selection routine, but I only had, I think it was 6 cards.
Sure.
And it's one of those nice things that you can just create your perfect little routine with your perfect. It's really about the reveals, isn't it?
Yeah, it's modular.
I mean, the control and the reveals.
Exactly that. Yeah, I've used it from 2 or 3 people, 4 people regularly, like restaurant tables and stuff like that, all the way up to like. I mean, I've done versions that are a little bit overkill, like 20 people. That's just, it takes too long. But it was, it's a fun experience to log in the back of your head and realize, okay, maybe for me, I find the sweet spot's roughly about 9.
9 people.
Yeah, but that just fits my my show.
And how, if you're doing, let's say you're doing multiple selection for 9 people, how long does that take you to get through all the reveals?
Sure. It's probably it would more or less be my it would probably be my complete close-up set. So I would start with like a very, very quick thing, and then I would then go into the multiple selection. But it's not necessarily just the trick itself. It's you're having banter with people as you're getting their names, you're remembering those, having jokes while they're getting the card selected.
Yeah.
And then, so it's like all of the interaction that you're having with people, which what makes it fun. And then, so the whole reveals, I mean, it can be done, the whole thing, 5-6 minutes, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that's like with the interaction as well, like everything controlled and, yeah.
So we're going to be going through, you know,
everything, yeah.
all of this tonight. So we're going to talk about the multiple selection, how to choose your reveals, and most importantly, great controls. Now, I always use the firework control, which I think is just genius.
It's probably the best, hands down.
And so we're going to talk about controls and, more importantly, reveals and structuring the reveals, because that's what a multiple selection is.
Yeah, I mean, I use the typical structure from Aldo and Paul Cummings, like you've got the opener, the middle, and then the final reveals. So I do the first couple are, you know, a couple of quick revelations, one card production, top change, etc. Then in the middle is I call it like the freedom section. You can make it up as you go along, but I've got like a bank of revelations that I use. But I've started developing, I mean, not systems, that sounds a bit grandiose, but like different versions that you can use that seem a lot more free than they are.
Yeah.
And it gives the spectator a lot of choice, but it seems like they can name anything, but you've got a very limited selection of reveals. And then the ending, you can use, any myriad of endings. There's tons of card boxes but yeah, it's not just about my routine. It's more, we'll be teaching a good handful of, a couple of handfuls.
Toolbox of
some
reveals and moves.
Yeah, roughly about 20, hopefully. Just got to try and get as much in as I can.
Brilliant. Paul Morley said, will you be showing how to use the Omni deck with the multiple selection?
Yeah, I finish usually finish with the Omni deck plus a couple of extra little beats, so that can be used in conjunction with the routine,
Yeah, brilliant. So, guys, let me know. Does the microphone need to be a little bit louder? I'm going to go in here, see if I can put the gain up a little bit, actually. Let me...
Or fancy tech.
Go into here. Right, bear with me. And I've got Jamie ringing me, so I'm going to hit a trailer, and then we'll be back.
Hey guys, Daniel Chard here. I'm super excited to announce my next up-and-coming Alakazam Academy, which is based on the multiple selection. Now, this is a lecture that I wish I would have had when I first started out in Magic. So, we're going to cover everything from the complete beginning, if you've never done a multiple selection, all the way up to the experts that have done the routine tons and tons of times. Now, this is one of those tricks that I've done thousands of times at this point in every conceivable environment, from weddings, corporate events, tables, impromptu at the pub, all the way up to fringe shows and sometimes in my current stage show itself. Now, what you're going to learn is several approaches to controlling the cards, different outs, and I'm going to include as many moves as I can. I think at last count it was roughly about 30 moves, so you're going to have a ton of stuff you can keep coming back to, but this doesn't just have to be something you watch the once. This is going to be something that you reference and come back to again, and again. My name's Daniel Chard. Come and join the Academy and have a deep dive on one of my favourite routines and possibly one of the strongest card tricks there is. See you soon.
Okay, so that's happening tonight. How's that for the audio? For some reason, our audio was turned all the way down, so let me know if that's any better. So, Dan, really looking forward to tonight, because I'm a big lover of the multiple selection. It just seems like it's one of those tricks that's just so impressive. So impressive.
Well, it is. I think it's one everyone should at least have a version of. Do you know what I mean? Because I think the routine, you can find yourself in any position where someone hands you a deck and you know you've got this piece of knowledge that you can use to do at any point, anywhere. Do you know what I mean? You can do it to friends, family, commercial environment. You've always got that routine, you know, showstopper, ready to go at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
So something that can be included anywhere.
Yeah.
Which I think is certainly worth developing.
Well, that being said, guys, if you want to grab yourself a ticket, they're still at the early bird price. They're on our website, and we're going live this evening at 7 o'clock GMT, so 7 o'clock UK time, and we go live in your Alakazam account under the My Academies section. Now, even if you can't make the time to watch it live, you can still take advantage of the early bird price, because the whole evening will be recorded and delivered to your account for you to download and keep and enjoy forever. And never has it been more important to watch back than this Academy tonight, because it is a toolbox. The multiple selection is not a set, solid routine. All right, Daniel's going to show his routine, but the beauty of the multiple selection is there's so many different reveals that Daniel's going to be teaching you that you can then put together and piece together to make your perfect routine for it.
Yeah.
So this is a great thing to keep going back to as a library for you to learn.
And the great thing is, it doesn't just have to be with regards to this trick. Like the revelations you learn, you can put into any of your card work, any of your, you know, any trick that it may. This one's bought twice. They're keen.
So let's see what's happening. Guys, let me know about the audio as well. I think we might be too loud now. Hopefully we're not. Hopefully we're all right.
One of the extremes will be either too loud or too quiet.
Yeah, I'm going to take these down a little bit, and hopefully we're sort of all right. Let us know what you think of the audio. But there's something else happening. You're here doing something else. We're actually going to do it, or you're going to do it, after this live. So tell us a bit about that as well. Yeah, so
for the Alakazam Unlimited, the Alakazam there on the Alakazam Unlimited platform, I'm doing a lecture on a recorded lecture of the card in the box, and but again, similar to the multiple selection. Not just my routine, but breaking down the routine that I use typically, but also faults that apply to the trick at large. So it can be any card in the box routine. We're going over sort of general moves, breaking down the psychology. And again, it's one of those tricks that you should add to your repertoire, and it'll be something you can view again and again, you know, adding phases to what you already do, but it'll be a course that you can access. So, well, not a course, a lecture that you can access. We were going to do it as a course, but I think it works better in this format, because then you can see it, you know, from start to finish without having to wait 2 weeks for every video.
Yeah.
You'll be,
I think it's going to be great, and that's going to be an unlimited lecture.
Yes. Yeah.
That's going to be available, included within your $4.99 monthly subscription.
Spoiling everyone.
Yeah, I'm not sure when that will be scheduled to actually go live, because Jamie does all the scheduling, but it will be coming at some point, and once again, it's included under your $4.99 monthly subscription. Now, I did mention before as well, Unlimited will be going up in 2026, and it's going up to $5.99, so it's only going up £1, which is less than...
a strong Starbucks, isn't it?
But you can actually sort of get a little hack on that, because you could take out an annual subscription, cancel your monthly, take out the annual, and you'll be locked in at $4.99. So even when we go up £1, which is only going to be another £12 a year, you'll still be getting it for £4.99.
Yeah, I think to mention as well, I think he said the course we did on, I think it was self-working card tricks.
Yeah.
Or, oh no, how to build a card act. Sorry, we've done so much, I get mixed up with what we've done. So it's going to be a course on how to build a card act. There's going to be 5 effects in a modular fashion, where you have the trick, the explanation, but also where you put that bit of psychology to constructing a card show. And again, you can feel free to use the effects as they are, but you can take the sort of broad overall premise and then apply that to your creating your own card act. Sort of inspired by the Scott Alexander standing up on stage, like that sort of structure, taking a from 0 to a 20-minute card act that you can do anywhere, and relatively easy but strong magic. That's the aim of that, hopefully. So
brilliant.
Looking forward to it.
Cool. Well, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to play a little trailer, and then after that, would you like to show us a trick? Doesn't have to be from one of the courses, just show us something. But before we do that, I'm going to play a little trailer. Now, we were just talking about Unlimited. Now, coming on the 27th, I believe, of this month, we have a studio live happening. They are our Unlimited lectures. This is happening live. It will also be recorded and delivered to everyone's account if you can't see it live. But here to tell you a bit about it is the man himself, Martin Pierce.
Hello, Alakazam. My name is Martin Pierce. I'm really excited to bring to you my brand new lecture on quirky and entertaining magic. Now, this is going to be a studio live lecture on the incredible Alakazam Unlimited platform. So what that means is, if you watch it on the night, you can be interactive. You can ask me any questions you have on performance, methods, explanation, my shoe size, what I had for dinner, or you can just log in and say hi. Now, this lecture is jam-packed full of some great routines. It's things that I use in my daily repertoire. There's going to be the fairest card trick in the world. There's going to be some really cool mentalism routines with films. There's going to be some comedy effects and so much more. So join me at 7 p.m. on Thursday the 27th of November for the Martin Pierce Alakazam Unlimited live studio lecture. I really hope to see you there.
So that's Martin Pierce. He's coming to Unlimited. I believe, I weren't even watching, I was speaking to Daniel. I think it's the 27th of this month.
Yeah.
And he's going to be doing a live Unlimited lecture. So if you're a member of Unlimited, you'll be able to watch that totally free of charge or included within your $4.99, as we say. And if you're not a member of Unlimited, you can try it out by getting a 7-day free trial as well. Honestly, if you're not a member, take the free trial, have a look what it's all about, because it's incredible. It's incredible. You're a member, aren't you? Unlimited?
Since day one, yeah.
Yeah. There's so much content in there.
It's quite overwhelming, to be honest. It's all, but it's nice. You don't have to get out all the old Alakazam DVDs. You can just go on there and pick the relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, and the way it's all categorised as well. You want to learn a bit of stand-up mentalism, you want to learn a coin trick, card trick, whatever it is, even face painting or Rubik's Cube magic. Yeah. It's all in there. Right, are you ready to show us a trick?
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to bring you on full screen.
I'll show you a classic. So we're going to use 4 special cards. We have the aces. Now, everything's about saving space at the moment. So we have these take up quite a lot of room. So it's a bit of a weird concept, but if we take the aces like this, you can see them front and back. If we take them here and we squeeze, they become a bit smaller in this case to the 2 twos, half their size. Now if we take the 2s, we put them on top of each other, resist making any remarks. We rub them on the table and they become a single card, in this case a 4. And things getting smaller is not usually what you like, but if we rub them on the table, it vanishes completely, leaving us in a bit of a conundrum. Because what if they vanish and you want them back, Pete? You have to get the essence of the card, your very essence, and then you can make it reappear. Now, if you see there's a little microscopic tear down the center of the card. So if you actually split that back, we go back to having the 2s. And we can only take this one more step logically. We go right back to the beginning where we had the 1, 2, 3, and 4. aces. So that was probably one of the first tricks I ever published, I think.
That is so good.
Oh, thank you.
Do you know what sprung to mind? Right, I'm not saying this just because I'm trying to sell it.
Yeah.
But as soon as you've done that trick, I thought, wouldn't it be great if the 2 2s were made up of the 4 suits? So the top half being the 2 of spades, and then the 4
was one of each. Yeah, I've messed with that in the past, but I've never had the sort of ability
print
to
by
print
magic.
There we go. See,
I was just thinking of that.
That's why you're here, Pete.
Straight away, I'm sure there's a card we sell called the 4 of everything.
Yeah, or there was one. Or there was one that comes to mind. Oh, this is going back some time now. I think it was called like Ace Oddity. Do you remember that?
No.
I don't know whether it was like an ace assembly or something, a packet trick or something, but you had 4 aces, you did something, akin, some magic happened, as it always does, and then at the end, 3 of the aces were blank, but all of the pips were on the last ace.
Oh, yeah, I do remember it.
Yes, yeah. It was a great, I want to say Peter Egg ink? I could be wrong, no idea. But yeah, it's a great trick, and we can certainly talk later about it.
So what is... part of it reminds me of Las Vegas Split.
Yeah, it's directly inspired by that. Yeah.
Yeah, but so, is this your routine?
Yeah, so this was a routine I had called decompression. I think I published this on my very first DVD, Charge Shark, in I want to say like 2009, something like that.
Right.
So that was probably the first trick that I put out that I really. That put my name on the sort of map. It was a variation of a routine by Robert Moreland. He had a decompression routine. No. So basically, the Las Vegas Leaper, not the Leaper, the Split, where you split them into the 4, the 2s, and the...
Yeah.
So he had basically the opposite version. I can't remember the name of his trick, but it's a really, really good version. And mine's basically a combination of the 2, starts off with 1, finishes with the other. Some personalized handling, and then the 2, and it's not actually that difficult to do. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But it's, in terms of execution, it's quite a simple thing to do.
Yeah, it's a great routine. So, with regards to you, because I first heard about you probably from Card Shark or Shard Shark, wasn't it?
Yeah.
By Russ Stevens.
Yeah.
He put that out. So I've always known you as a card guy. Now, I do know, like, the last couple of years, you've got more into stand-up and mentalism and things like that.
Yeah.
So as a working magician, are you mainly cards still? So if you're doing close-up, because I know... When you're working smoke and mirrors, is it close-up as well? I know it used to be in the other bar.
There is a close-up magician going around, yeah. I don't personally do that anymore. I'm only doing stage or stand-up at smoke and mirrors. But yeah, there's always someone doing close-up there. Because
in Mark's other bar, wasn't there like a close-up table and people would come and sit with
so you imagine like this, a table like this in structure, raised up more, but people would have like drinks on the outside, and then people would come over. It'd be roughly, you'd have about 8 seats around the front, 2 rows of people behind, and then you would do 20-30 minute set, and then swap between like 2 or 3 of you, and then just recycle, like keep doing that throughout the night. So the airtime was immense. In terms of I do all the classics like fiber optics, like ring Nesta wallets, like the odd bill to location, but predominantly card based. But I've been messing with other stuff like chop cups, and I've added nothing to them. They're still quite classic in their approach. You know what I mean? Yeah. So whilst I do perform the other stuff, I've added nothing really to them in terms of.
But a lot of magicians don't really. I mean, you don't have to be performing your. I think this. This is a fault that a lot of magicians have, is like, oh, we can't perform standard routines, and I've heard people that speak to me and they say it with a bit of embarrassment where they go, well, nothing's mine.
Yeah.
Well, 90% of magicians that go out and perform are not performing their own. We're not all creators.
No, not at all. No, I wouldn't even. I mean, I barely consider myself a creator, to be honest. Like, mine's more of a, in the David Stone camp, I'm more of like a personal like adapter, if that makes sense. Like I'll go through, say, Triumph, for example. I'll learn every version I can find.
Yeah.
Find bits I like, you know, make my own sort of Frankenstein's monster of things that suit me and my personal, you know, ability or moveset, and then go from there. But I think as I mature now, like, I'm only interested in performing the best version. So like if it's like Carter Pockets, for example, I've learned probably every version I could physically find from you know, like Gary Jones, you know, the 10 cards like up the sleeve across everything you can think of, and then the version I've settled on just because it plays the strongest for lay people is probably Etienne's. Or you know, like a small variation of that, and it's the strongest version. I've tried every other one. It just plays, and I think it might be on Unlimited, but it just I've got no ego in terms of, because it's not about me, it's about them, isn't it? Yeah. Like, you still want to have fun with the tricks you're doing, fine, but I'm just interested in performing the most fun version of whatever particular trick it is. So that's the only thing that I'm really worried about these days.
Gary Edwards said, which is quite right, your personality makes any standard routine different enough to be your own. And it is true. I mean, we all perform the same effects, but I think 90% of us do.
Most,
and it is, you know, it's your own. John Carey said it as well. I think it was Faye Presto that said it to him, is like, I know it sounds quite corny, but you are the magic. Really,
I think there might have been an F word in there, but it's
for
the purposes of daytime streaming,
But it is true. It's us as magicians that make the routine different. We're all going to perform it slightly differently. Our personas are different. The way we present it, whether it be comedy, whether it be straight, you know, we all perform it a little bit different. I know myself and Jamie can perform the same routine, or myself and Wayne, and it will be completely different. Wayne will be a joke every 2 seconds.
Sure. Well, I suppose like mine will be, you know, there'll be jokes in there, but it won't be as rapid fire as Wayne's. It will be a mix of kind of a hybrid of maybe both of yours. You know what I mean? There'll be some serious elements, but also lots of banter in between. But that just makes it fun for you, doesn't it? You know? Yeah. Because it's, like you said, it's the style that makes it. Because people don't hire you for the tricks you do they? Because you know, like you said, you can probably count the tricks that most magicians do on one hand, like, you know, double cross, ring flight revolution. Like, they're all doing the same stuff. Not that it matters. You know, everyone's doing omni deck. I'm guilty of that. Despite having some fun variations of it. We just do the stuff that works. They
do them for a reason. They're classics for a reason. Yeah. The Omni deck.
I mean, the reaction is staggering. Yeah. It's annoying because it's such a, you know, it's something everyone does. And I know there's other variations, and they do play really well. Like the Lego one that you released was fun. Solid Deception gets a great reaction. But I always find myself going back to the Omni deck.
It's. You know, we have it, whenever you meet someone, if you're out performing, chances are they're going to go, oh, I once saw a magician. Yeah. And when they describe the magician, they'll always describe one of 5 effects. Yeah. He had a deck of cards and it turned to glass. Yep. He got a bottle and he pushed it through a table. Yep. You know, and that's because these are the things they remember. Like, card tricks are great. We all use them. But it will be very surprising if they turn around and go, oh, he'd done this sandwich effect. You know, they don't, because that's not.
And then the backs change colour, and then,
It's these sort of visual, high-impact visual moments of these classic effects that your spectators, and it doesn't mean they're better than a card trick or whatever, but it's just got every element for them to be able to recall it and go, it turned into a block of glass.
Well, the narratives are simple, aren't they? You don't have to think about the concept of a trick. Is easy to describe. Yeah. But I think these days I'm more worried about them because the thing you get often is this was Amazing Magician. I think Mark mentioned to me in passing was like, you get them saying, "Oh, we remember this magician. He was great. What was his name?"
Yeah.
They never remember. So for me, I'm always trying to either make jokes about my last name so it sticks in their head, or I'm more interested in them remembering me than the tricks I do, because the tricks don't really matter, do they?
Yeah.
You know, like if you've got 5 minutes at a table, whether you do like your mentalism stuff or, you know, card tricks, it doesn't really matter. As long as they have a good laugh and, you know, they get amazed by whatever you're doing, the rest is more or less irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. So, guys, if you've got any questions for Daniel, just put them in the chat. So, Magic Man said,
that's such a cool
Giancarlo Scala's card to pocket is incredible. We fooled Penn and Teller with it recently, and it fooled here. Have you seen that?
Which one? Juan Carlo, is it?
Juan Carlo.
Oh, I'll check that out. I'll add that on my my list after this. I've not seen it, but I look forward to check it out.
Right, Andrew Lucas said, do we make a mistake by calling trick originators creators? We should all be thinking of ourselves as creators, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if they've created the trick, then they are created by definition. I think the originators of the plots, maybe, but in terms of, it could just be something that you give yourself as a title in your own head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you say you're a creator, then if you make a trick for yourself, you are creating something for yourself. Yeah. I think the problem a lot of us have is a lot of it you try and just create to release something, whereas I think that's the mistake, isn't it? Like,
yeah, 100%. I don't think, I've said this before as well, if someone said to me, you know, you're going to sit in that room and you're going to come out with a product in an hour or 5 hours, I wouldn't be able to do it.
No.
What I create are usually created for me.
Yeah.
And then I will show people, and it's those people that go, you should release that.
Yeah. Whereas for some, it's the opposite way around. They just come up with stuff to release.
Yeah.
Or it could be, you know, not yourself, but other websites might mention in no names. You come up with something in the day, film it on the night. It's on the website live, you know, later that day.
Yeah.
Because there's a low barrier to entry in terms of like being able to just put stuff out there.
Yeah.
Without, I think calling yourself a creator can be a good mental model if it's something that you, it's fun just to create anyway, isn't it? It's not necessarily something you have to either release or just making a personal adaptation to you, I think is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because that's what I find with stage now. It's more about, I guess your scripting, you know, stuff like that, just making it personal to you because they can see, again, same stage, like everyone does, like the comedy book test, you know, like Silk to Egg, and that sort of effect, but it's how you make it unique to you that.
Yeah.
And I'm not even, like, once I've put all my card stuff out, I'll be just concentrating on stage, and then I'm not worried about creating anything original, just stuff that's fun, plays well, and has my unique spin on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it, you know, flight time is very, very important.
It's the most important, yeah.
Performing, because even the other day, actually, I did a video on the book test, the
new one.
Sheer Luck.
Yes, yeah.
Sheer Luck. And I'd never performed it before, so I'd done it for the video. And even though it's a self-working trick and everything else, after I'd finished filming it, and it got good reactions and everything on, you know, YouTube, but I knew I'd got the beats all wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I knew it. As soon as I finished it, I knew I'd got the beats all wrong. And I'm not talking about anything technical.
Yeah.
It's presentation.
Yeah.
And you can feel it. If you understand magic, you'll know if you've got it right or wrong. And it's very rare you get it wrong on your right on your first outing.
Yeah, I mean, and you might be lucky. Whereas it's funny you mentioned sheer luck. Actually, that's an effect I have. Probably the exact same relationship as you did with it in terms of, like, I've done it loads. I've probably done it, 50 to 100 times. But even now, I've still not really found a presentation. You know, I use the fake memory thing, you know.
Yeah.
I've done everything from like using a mirror to try and see over their shoulder and all that sort of rubbish, but like it just pollutes the purity of what is a very, you know, good and funny effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing just changing the beat, or when you do a line or something, it changes everything about it. And it's, I think sometimes we can over-engineer, like something like that doesn't necessarily need anything, does it? No. Really? And I find sometimes like stripping it back to, you add all this embellishment, but as soon as you strip it back, the reactions become better again.
Yeah.
It's a weird, humbling journey.
Yeah, it is. And it's really, that's the part of it that I love as well. Yeah. It is sort of learning not so much the technical aspect of the trick,
yeah,
but learning the real meaning behind the trick and how to deliver it. And we do that a lot with the tricks we're bringing out as well. It's, we will work them in the shop so much, and I can almost guarantee every time I do it, something will change slightly.
Well, yeah, so every time I come down, you've always got a new, you know, new trick you're working on, or a new, like, proof of some kind coming in for a trick, and it's always, I suppose you've always had that ability to just come up with a narrative there and then, haven't you? You've always had that sort of, we just fire out a story, like, that fits the trick. But yeah, it's amazing just how even I always try and take something out on stage at least once before again, I'm not saying this is the best approach, it really isn't. I've had tricks I've learned literally about 3 minutes before I've gone on stage.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not recommending this. So but I just take it out in front of people. I might die on my ass performing that particular trick, but I learn more in that one go doing it to someone than sort of hypothetically thinking about it for weeks, like just by jumping out on stage, no presentation, trying to come up with some crap in the moment, and then, but that's all the feedback I need. Do you know what I mean? It saves you so much time in learning.
So do you ever film your act and watch it back to critique it, or?
Yeah, I go through phases with that. Sometimes I do film it and watch it back at times. Other times I record like the audio. Yeah. So I find that can be more revealing.
Yeah.
And sometimes uncomfortable because you can't see the interactions. So you're just. Oh, sorry, that's my contact. You just hear the unfiltered audio. So you hear like all of the dead spots, all of the lines that got a laugh, the things that you think you said were funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's a real. You find out truly where the beats are.
Yeah.
Like the laughs per minute, or the stuff that works, jokes that just didn't land, because you've got no visual stimulus to keep your mind occupied.
Yeah.
You say a line, and if it's just dead silent, you can just throw it out. Wherever it's
yeah.
It's humbling. It's humbling.
Yeah, I love, even though I hate watching it, I love seeing recordings of me.
Magic related, or?
Yeah, magic related, but I hate them. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I hate them. I hate watching them, but I love the fact that I get a chance to watch it, because each time I watch it, I can instantly see what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, but what's funny though, it's also, I find the opposite. Like, if I think that I've had a show that's been a bit, if I have a show that's been really bad in my mind, I'll watch it back and be like, it wasn't actually that bad. You get enveloped by the video and the whole thing. And you're like, well, I thought that was really bad, this was really bad. So when you beat yourself up on the drive home, and then you watch it, you're like, it wasn't actually that bad at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, yes, some things could have been worked on and other elements stronger, but it's not the bad thing you thought it was.
Yeah.
So it can be. It's definitely an amazing tool. I mean, I know John Armstrong put a huge thing in his book, didn't he, about I think How to Win or something like that, and about how to do it and get better. It's certainly. So I try not to practice like a mirror or anything like that, but watching yourself back tells you more than anything you.
I think there might be an issue with your microphone, maybe when you dropped it. So let's have a look, guys. We are going to have a look, and I tell you what. You turned it off.
Yeah. Oops. There we go.
Yep, we should be back on.
Back in business.
So,
I said something so profound. So profound.
when you're doing this saying will interest me as well. So when you're doing, so obviously you perform weekly at Smoke and Mirrors?
Yeah, multiple times a week, yeah.
Okay. And that's all stage?
Yep.
How do you, I mean, you're in a lucky position, really, because you are performing weekly.
Yeah.
But if you're breaking in let's say, how often do you change your act? Does it ever go through a full 100% change, or do you just take something out and something in?
Yeah, I try and, I never fully change things. Even I had a fringe show recently where I did a fringe-esque show that never made it to the fringe, but that's a different story. So I was basically taking like bits that I'd classically done and sort of sandwich other material in between. But no, typically if I want to break in new material, I will, if it's something that's fairly easy and I just want to get it on stage straight away, I'll just sandwich it between two two
that you know are going to win.
Yeah, two relatively strong tricks. Because, if it's, or I'll use it on a Thursday night when we have a one-man show. So we've got two 35-minute halves then. So I've got more time so I can put in one or two tricks I've got more time to do it. In terms of like working that material in, I'm quite lucky that I work in the Magic Bar as well. So it's kind of like parlor, so I can I'll try it several times behind the bar. If it's appropriate, I might try it a couple of times close up at a gig, for example. I'll try it in every conceivable environment, and then usually by the time I've got it on stage, I've done it, enough times anyway.
So do you ever, do you still rehearse? Do you still practice? If you're doing a stage show and, you're doing your stand-up thing, do you still run through it in the evening, some evenings before you go on stage and rehearse it? Or nowadays is it more like, okay, I've learned the technical aspect, I've got a rough idea of what I'm going to say, I'm just going to go?
Yeah, it's probably more that approach. So if it's a technical routine like fiber optics, for example, I did it years ago, forgot about the trick, relearned the trick. And then, it'd just be, I'd spend like 20 minutes a night just going through the technical aspects of the routine. Do that for maybe a couple of weeks and just get comfortable with it. I might put in like a super abbreviated version, like a very small short sequence, and just see how that plays. But in terms of like a full routine, I'd work on the technical aspects, get roughly in my head what I'm going to say. So I wouldn't write down a script per se, but again, this is something that's changing in my approach. Like it's like now I'm trying to sit down more and actually type out what I'm going to say, just because I think that gives you more of a professional appearance in terms of how your material comes across, but also it's a good exercise to get you into that zone, because once you start, you start being able to see narratives then, you know what I mean? Like just by sitting to yourself, just coming up with a story that sounds plausible. And then just getting it on stage, doing it a couple of times, because you'll find just by doing that, you'll create a narrative that you speak alongside it. And then in terms of, because I like the sort of humor-based approach, the funniest jokes that you get typically are from the audience. Those are the funny, and then you take credit for it in your next show. And then they'll say something and you just keep adding it, layering it bit by bit by bit over weeks and months. And then it becomes a full-fledged performance piece. So it's like a slow process, but it's you've got something then you can use anywhere.
Yeah, there was a question that come in. Marty Jacob said, I'd love a gig like that, but you must burn through material fast. You don't, because you're doing the same material, because you're performing to different audiences?
Yeah, so there's two. So obviously smoke and mirrors, it's different audiences every time. So I don't go through that much material. I have a bigger backlog now because I've been doing it for about 8 to 10 years. In the Magic Bar, I think that's probably where I learn more close-up material. But then, with things like Unlimited and books, it's so easy to just, you can sit down on a Sunday and learn 3 or 4, card tricks or something you can just put in that night, for example. On Unlimited, you could learn a variation of Red Hot Mama or something like that, and then piece together stuff that you can go and try that night. And then I might use it for a couple of weeks, and then if you get regulars coming back, then just push that to the side and then learn something new. But then close-up's a lot easier to learn new stuff, right? Yeah. Card tricks you could learn, I usually learn 2 or 3 in the morning and then try it out that night. Yeah. Will they be fully polished performance pieces? No. But like you said, you're just churning through that material. And then, or it might be just using a different variation of what they expect to see. Yeah. You do go through quite a lot, but it's both my hobby and my profession. So I do enjoy I love learning new stuff as well. Yeah.
And a question from Andrew.
Yeah.
Do you fully script, or do you have bullet points of what you're going to say?
I'd love to say that I fully script, but I just don't. It's a habit that I want to develop, going forward, from now, putting it out there. I'd love to fully script and have the beats, the lines, where my actions are, the blocking on stage. But typically the approach has just been, having some bullet points, 4 or 5 bullet points of what I want to say, and then just getting out there and trying it. So just having the key points you want to say or the theme, and then getting it out there, because you'll learn more, because you'll find your script will naturally develop as you start performing the trick. You tend to, you'll say stuff and it is more or less the same stuff you say every time. But the good thing about stage and stuff like that, you can always borrow gags from other effects that work. Yeah. All of the, I'm not saying the clean hand and all that sort of crap, but you'll probably have a bank of gags that you can apply to any effect.
They can fit in. So and your style, I've seen you perform a few times, and your style is very much bantering with the audience as well.
Yeah.
So it appears scripted, but you leave yourself room for manoeuvre rather than having to keep to
because
script.
I want to have a laugh as well. If I'm there for 10 minutes with people, I want to have fun as well as them. I don't want it to be just, here's this giant man-child showing you his magic toys. I want it to be a fun experience with us both, back and forth.
How long is the average show at Smoke and Mirrors?
So the average show is 35 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So with the and you do that twice a night?
2 shows on a Thursday, 2 on a Saturday, and then 1 on a Friday.
And both shows will be the same, will they, or have you got 2 separate shows?
I've got 2. So a Thursday would be a one-man show, so that would be 2 35 minutes, 2 separate ones.
2 different shows, or
no,
the
it'd be
same
one
show repeated?
So I'd be on for the hour.
Right.
A break in the middle, but I'd have 2 separate sets.
Yeah.
So 2 35-minute sets, and then a Friday would be a 45-minute set, and then the Saturdays would be 1 35-minute set times 2, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it sounds more complex than it is, but.
And this is the thing as well. If someone says to you, I need you to do 40 minutes, you've got a 40-minute slot.
Yeah.
Because you've now got your 2 shows in your mind, you know roughly how long each trick tells you. If I said to you, right, you're going to come to the Alakazam convention, you're going to do 40 minutes, you could pretty much just go, okay, so this, and this, there's my 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'd always just have either a phone on clock inside my case, or so I can see, I know what time I've got to finish.
Yeah.
I know what my finish is. In between that, God knows, I've got a whole bank of tricks that I can use.
Yeah.
I go through 2 different approaches. Most of the time I'll have a set show that I'll use, but sometimes I'll just see what tricks I've got ready in my case. They'll all be ready to go, and then dependent on the sort of audience response, I can pick and I can chop and change what the effects are. But yeah, if it's 40 minutes I've got, then I can finish within that 40 minutes. Do go over now and again if I'm having too much fun with an audience, but that is something I'm definitely working on. Because if they're laughing too much, you just want to keep going. Yeah,
that's actually quite a big point as well, because when you are going out and you are working, especially on a build, timing is really strict, and there are times where you do, you know, the audience are having a great time, you're having a great time, and you think, oh, I'll do one more. And then suddenly your 20 minutes has turned into 35 minutes, or 40 minutes.
And then you get hated by everyone on the
on the bill. It's, you know, people, when you sort of go to the magic circle and you do your audition and they say, right, your audition is 8 to 10 minutes. Now, people can overrun that. They can go 12 minutes. They won't get in because it's really quite an important thing. Timing, we don't see it if you're not out there performing on a bill. But if you're given 30 minutes, they expect you to do 30 minutes, because if you're 10 minutes late, that whole show is running 10 minutes late. It's really frowned upon.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm not always perfect at it. I will be. I'll be honest. Sometimes I go over by 5 minutes, sometimes under. But yeah, if I was on a bill type show, then I would have to. I wouldn't. I would just cut whatever I'm doing and then just, you know, but thanks, good night, blah blah blah. Because like you say, you just can't afford to hold up the whole show just for your confabulation or your cards across.
I mean, luckily, you know, we all do stuff that we know we can speed up.
Exactly that.
If needs be. The actual technical part of it is usually done quite early on.
I mean, cards across is a great example of that, right? Like the actual mechanics take 10 seconds. But I've got two different, I think that's where I've also tried to learn like a couple of different versions per trick as well. So if I've got a version of cards across that's pretty much self-working, I don't really have to do any sleight of hand. But if it's on a bigger stage and I can do it, like, you know, the classic method, which we won't divulge, but I've got more space to do that then. And if I've got 5 minutes, I can make it last 5 minutes. If it's 8 to 9 minutes, then I can just do that. But yeah, it's like timing is the most important thing.
And have you found you've got a lot better at it as you've been going along? You get a better judgment.
I'm still. Don't get me wrong. I'm still learning that. You know, it's I'll get told off if I go over for too long, but it's mainly now because it means that their pizzas would be cold and stuff, so you have to, you know, be on time.
Right, we got another question coming in from Marty. And that is there a way to develop performance pieces without having a lot of flight time in front of a regular audience?
I mean, you can not force it upon people, but like, if dependent on like where you are in life, if you're a teenager or you're in your 20s, you'll be probably going out drinking anyway. Like, you'll have a social circle that you can just, you know, go through everyone, show your friends, your family. There's not many people that if you said like, oh, do you want to see a trick in a normal environment, they wouldn't say no. Do you know what I mean? So you can try. It depends. You can get as much flight time as you want. If you really want to show people, just get out there. You know, if you're in a pub, just say, oh, look, I'm working on this. I'm a magician. I'm working on this trick. I'd love to get some feedback. Would you like to see it? You know, it's not going to cost you anything. Blah blah blah. And then. Or just at the end of a gig, throw it in there as an added performance piece, or just whoever you're sat next to, just show them some stuff. So you can have as much or as little. There's 8 billion people on the planet, so you can get quite a bit of flight time if needed.
I think also we're like, in this day and age, we're very, very lucky that we've all got phones that film.
Perfect.
I think one of the things that I tend to do if I'm working on something new is I tend to record myself. But I will record myself performing to 2 or 3 or 4 imaginary people.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm not going to do the old thing of just looking in the mirror and watching my hands. I will literally, if I'm practicing a parlour routine, and I'm going to have someone sat to my left, someone sat to my right, I'm in the middle, I will record myself and I will gesture and speak to this person, that person, and everything else.
Yeah.
So I can get the timing, because the difference is doing the mechanics of a trick, and we've all been there, where you do a trick and you go, oh, it's only going to take 5 seconds. It's so quick.
Yeah.
But when you're doing performance, it's not 5 seconds. It's
like
now
5
2
minutes.
minutes,
Yeah.
you know, because of your chatting and everything else. And I think we're very, very lucky now that we've got cameras on our phone. We can record ourselves and watch them back. And watch back not only your performance, but it also gives you some really valuable info into when you're doing a move over here. Have a look where you're directing people's direction. You know, and it's a great way of doing it, just to record yourself, but to actually present it. It seems a bit weird when you start doing it.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
There in front of you, but do it, because you will see if there's a move that's flashing when you're, you know, facing to your left. You know at that point you need to be speaking to the person on your right, and so on.
You'd be surprised, like you said, it feels really bloody weird. Like when you're stood in your own like front room talking to like your cats or your dogs or something. It does feel really weird. But the thing is, that quickly subsides, and then you know, the more you do it, you become less. I think that's why filming your shows is a great tool, because you become sort of immune to watching yourself. Like it can be quite an uncomfortable experience when you first start doing it. But now it's not sort of dead inside, but like you watch it back and it doesn't bother you at all. You're like, this is just failure and feedback. You know, it's just because you're using it as a tool to then get better, aren't you? But I didn't even think about the smartphone. You
will find as well that sometimes the tricks, I've done stand-up gigs before where
bragging.
I've come off the stage thinking that's the best show I've had.
Yeah.
The audience have loved it.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I've come off stage thinking
I'm the dog's.
Yeah.
Providers.
But then I've watched the video back and I've gone, ooh. Oh. So even though the audience were quite happy, I was buzzing, and it was simple things. Like, I remember watching a video back, and there's one point where I go to take something off my table and I turn my back on the audience.
Yeah.
For a split second. But when I watched it, I just cringed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awful.
But that's the thing, unless you watched it back, you wouldn't know.
No, because it was a great show. From the audience perspective, it was. From my perspective, it was. But you pick up on little things and you go, why did I turn my back then? Why didn't I walk that way round to the table? Why did I cross in front of this person? Why did I do that? And these are things that you probably would never think, because what you're thinking about when you're coming off stage is that palm went all right. No one saw me switch that. Yeah. You're not thinking about turning round to go to your table, but these are the little things you pick up on when you watch yourself back.
And if anything, those are the most important parts. You know what I mean? It's and but again, I've had the opposite experience. Like when you thought that you've both extremes. Like you think you've had an amazing show and you've absolutely smashed it, and then you watch it back and you're like, oh, actually that was pretty crap. Yeah. And the vice versa, where you think you come off stage all deflated and your ego's been hurt. You're like, that was probably one of the worst shows of my life. And then you watch it back and you're like, it wasn't actually that bad at all. You know what I mean? But in the moment and I think over time as well, you tend to, the reactions tend to be less extreme, for example. Do you know what I mean? Like something Mark always says to me, it's like, if you have a great show, stick it in your back pocket for when you've had a crap one. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you find just over time, it all just averages out. Yeah. Like you have a great one here, okay one there, top of the world here, crap here, but they all just average out to just good shows over time. You know what I mean? The more you do, the more average.
And it doesn't matter how much flight time you've had. How
Not at all.
Your show is.
No.
There's always going to be that one show where you're not firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Something just isn't sitting right.
Yeah, like you got to do your tax return, or your or your wife's having an affair, or
yeah.
not
but
broadly speaking.
There's always going to be that time where things don't go to plan, and it's very easy to feel deflated.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I think you've got to learn. We've all been there, and we've all had gigs where we come home or driving home. Usually you do a gig, you're driving home, you're on a high. Yeah. Even when you get home, you've got to sit up and watch TV for 2 hours because there's no way you're going to sleep. You're full of adrenaline. But then also on the flip side, you have them where you're in the car and you think that was awful.
Yeah, and you think I'm going to become a plumber or a tree surgeon.
Yeah.
But I think the just addressing that point, like you find that it just averages out. So some you might have a great show, but yeah, it all averages out over time, I think.
And Andrew said, quite rightly, we learn more from our mistakes than we do from our successes, and it's true.
Yeah,
it is true.
I was going to mention that actually. Like, and you'd be surprised that over time you do become complacent. Like I've had, I do No Brainer by Bill Abbott, and sometimes I just forgot to make them up, or I'll open the version and I've got the family-friendly version rather than the adult version, or vice versa. Or tricks that you've done 500 times and you just don't put them in your pocket, or do you know what I mean? Like it might be like silk to egg. Like you just forget to put the egg in your pocket. Or prime example, I did it the other day where I've done that trick. Christ, must be hundreds and hundreds of times at this point. A couple of 300 or 400 maybe, and then. I reached in my pocket. I swapped out the egg, and then it didn't have the sticker on. Right, yeah. So I'm literally just holding an egg, and I'm like, oh Christ! But it was I mimed taking it off. I was just like, oh, we'll get rid of the sticker, and then people still reacted. It was such a weird experience because I've shown them this thing, and then I've literally just held an egg in front of. It was awful, but it's I can't remember who says about having like a checklist for your jacket or anything like that. Having something you put all your stuff in place for, because if you're doing it regularly, it's quite easy to get complacent. Yeah. I'm guilty of that all the time. You get a bit lazy in regards to setup and stuff. But yeah, going forward, hopefully, touch wood.
Cool. Right, so we are now over time. We've got one more question.
Yes.
And then we're going to say our goodbyes because you've got some filming to do.
I do.
This is from Scottish Dave. Do you get nervous?
Yes and no. I tend to be more... my brain gets so focused on what I'm going to say because I'm trying to make people laugh as well. I'm so concentrated on trying to be receptive to what people say incoming. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it's a new environment or if it's a different, more people in the crowd, then yes, nerves can kick in. But predominantly now it's more excitement than nerves per se. Do you know what I mean? Just because I'm so excited to get out there and show people. But I don't, when the curtains open, no. Yeah. But up until then, yes. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like when the curtains open, you're in character.
I think it is that nervous energy. I think most people are because you don't know what you're going to be facing. Even if you've done it 100 times, we just explained some shows are good, some are bad. You're going to get my daughter's husband, Ardash. He's a musician. Yes. He's a singer, rapper, and everything else. Nice. He does these shows. He's got quite a big following. Yeah. And when he's on stage, I watch him and I go, "You are a showman." Yeah. He's phenomenal. And I said to him about nerves, and he said, "Yeah, all the time." Yeah. But he said it's a nervous energy, and he said, and if I ever get to a point where I don't have that. Yeah.
I think sometimes nerves can be like a misleading term though. Like you just. I think, you know, labeling it nerves makes you, it makes you nervous, do you know what I mean? Whereas like you've got that ball of excitement in you, whether you use that to be nervous or excited, they're two sort of the same thing. Like, so you might be jumping, you know, up and down, get yourself pumped up for the show or whatever, but like as soon as you've got to turn on, those just dissipate because you go straight into what you know. You know, you go straight into the scripted lines or the tricks you've done hundreds of times. But yeah, to answer the question, it's more just before the curtains open. Yeah. And then when it's game time, you just go into old habits.
Yeah. And the other thing is as well, bear in mind, the more you perform, the less nervous you're going to be. You're still going to have that nervous energy, which is a good thing, really, gets you G'd up. But if we're talking about nervous as in being worried, that will happen less and less. I mean, Dan's very lucky. He's performing 3 times a week, every week. So that sort of, I remember having this conversation with Simon Lipkin. Now, Simon is a West End star. He's
Christ,
you know, he's Fagin in Oliver at the moment. Probably
he's an actual actor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, an actual actor who's really good. I remember saying to him, "Don't you get nervous?" And he said, "It's what I was trained to do.
Yeah,
that's it. Since I was a kid, this is all I've been trained to do." Yeah. He said, "I don't think about it." And the fact is, for a lot of us that get into magic, it's not what we're trained to do. We've got into magic. Now we've got to learn to perform that magic to people. And, you know, it is a different kettle of fish. But the more you do it, I remember, and we've got to wrap this up, but I remember quite a few years ago, I went to a gig with Etienne Pradier. Yeah. And it was probably the first time I had performed in a paid public setting. Probably, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. I can't remember. But Etienne just said, "Come along to this gig." Yeah. Now.
Lovely job. Lovely job.
Yeah. I was very nervous. Etienne was like another day in the office.
Yeah.
He literally walked in, case open. Oh, I'll take. I'll grab that. I'll do that. And he just went on and killed the room. I mean, it was like everyone's laughing.
I think you still get nervous, but where you channel them changes. Do you know what I mean? Like it's less nervous about the show now. It's more like, oh, have I prepped this thing, or I'm nervous about a joke you're going to say or something like that.
Yeah. So right, we're going to wrap it up there. But Daniel.
Yes.
Tonight I'm going to play out with your trailer, but tonight, guys, Daniel's going to be live in the Alakazam Academy.
Live here in person.
Yeah. Go grab your early bird ticket. They're only $19.99, I think.
Yes.
And you're going to get a masterclass on the multiple selection, probably one of the best card tricks or plots in card magic
I'd say so.
You will ever learn. This is more than one trick. It's a toolbox. So come and join us tonight. Tickets are on the website. Go check them out. And remember, even if you can't make the time, it's going to be recorded and you're going to be able to keep it forever because it will be delivered to your account for you to download. So I'm going to play out with that trailer. But Daniel, thank you very much for joining us on the Alakazam Live.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Right. So you've sat down for an hour now. You've got some work to do.
I have.
Right, guys. We will see you tonight at 7 o'clock. Don't be late.
Hey guys, Daniel Chard here. I'm super excited to announce my next up-and-coming Alakazam Academy, which is based on the multiple selection. Now this is a lecture that I wish I would have had when I first started out in Magic. So we're going to cover everything from the complete beginning, if you've never done a multiple selection, all the way up to the experts that have done the routine tons and tons of times. Now this is one of those tricks that I've done thousands of times at this point in every conceivable environment, from weddings, corporate events, tables,
impromptu at the pub, all the way up to fringe shows and sometimes in my current stage show itself. Now, what you're going to learn is several approaches to controlling the cards, different outs, and I'm going to include as many moves as I can. I think at last count it was roughly about 30 moves, so you're going to have a ton of stuff that you can keep coming back to, but this doesn't just have to be something you watch the once. This is going to be something that you reference and come back to again and again. My name's Daniel Chard. Come and join the Academy and have a deep dive on one of my favourite routines and possibly one of the strongest card tricks there is. See you soon.